Your baby. You gotta shut the door, babe.
Welcome to Relationship Cake and Ice Cream. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm interviewing the author of a brand new book called Dangerously in Love by Miss Zakkiyyah Smalls. Yay! Okay, and I'm going to be asking Zakkiyyah some questions about this book. I wrote some questions down, so let me get to them. So let me start with the obvious question, Ms. Smalls. How long did it take you to write this book?
To write it,
To put it all together?
to write it and put it. Well, I wrote this book 18 years ago.
Wow.
So, in writing it, it didn't take me. I would say maybe at most 2 months in writing it.
Okay,
Um,
that's quick.
yeah, I had it. I was up night after night after night in my parents' house. My father keep telling me, turn off the light. Remember that?
Oh, it looks like we just going.
So my father kept telling me, turn off the light, because I'm up all night, as if I'm just there, just there, sitting there. But I was actually writing, and, those thoughts, because when it's coming, you don't want to stop, because writer's block is real. So when you get in that mode to where you can write and write, you just.
Right.
So it took me, I would say, about 2 months just to write it and get it all down and just to get it all out.
Right. Well, when you write, and a lot of people that don't write don't understand those ideas. Once they're flying, you have to get them down on paper
Right.
because you may not remember them later on or the next day.
Right.
So let me ask you, Ms. Smalls, for those who are just joining us, I'm interviewing Ms. Zakkiyyah Smalls. She is the author of the book Dangerously in Love, which is now currently available on Amazon. So let me ask you, Ms. Smalls, what is your inspiration for this book?
I well now, not before, in writing it, it was, I wrote a book previously before before this book, when I did write it. So that book kind of said, oh, you can do this, and it made me want to go ahead and write another book. So I did that. But and now, in holding it, I've had this book with me. Like I said, I wrote it 18 years ago. I had it with me now for 18 years. Moving, carrying it, having babies, getting married. The book came with me everywhere I went.
Yes.
And it was, and then now, with just everything going on, and just with, I said, I feel like it's time. Now was the time to do something with this book. Now was the time to go ahead and get it out there. I felt like now. I didn't feel like 18 years ago it was the time. Now is the time to get it out there.
So let me ask you, who are the main characters in the book?
So the main characters in the book, at the time that I wrote it, like I said, I was living in my parents' house. My brother was there. My cousin Truth, Nana, he was there. So I picked the names of the main characters based on my brother and Nana. So, Truth is Nana, I is there. So those are really the main characters, and the relationship that they had. I did keep kind of that brotherly relationship that they had in the book there, and kept that. So I really kind of went on and showed that bond there in the book. Even though it's a fictional book, I still kept certain, bonds and things like that put together in the book.
So the book it says dangerously in love without telling us the secrets in the book. The book is 36 chapters.
I think it's 36 or 37.
Yeah, chapters. And the title is really intriguing because it says dangerously love. Well, usually when we think about love, we don't think as being something dangerous. So tell us about this title, Dangerously in Love.
Okay, so without trying to give so much away in the book, I'm sure the back of the book will tell you, that my main characters, they are into the streets. They are, that kingpin lifestyle. That's the life that they're living, and so kind of if you're familiar with, what comes along with living that life and with being in that lifestyle. So there's always danger, the fear of death, the fear of going to jail, the fear of the people you love getting hurt in living that lifestyle. So it becomes, dangerous. So that's why I went with the whole dangerously.
So it becomes dangerous for two people or the person that falls in love with these people that are living this street type of lifestyle.
Unfortunately, in the street lifestyle, I feel like if you are close with the people that are living that lifestyle, it's pretty much dangerous for anybody who knows who your circle is and who's around that, even friends, cousins, women, wives, just everybody who kind of
is around that
lifestyle.
Even your neighbors.
Even neighbors
right.
who, unknowingly,
right.
are a part of that life
without knowing. So since you mentioned the back of the book, giving you a little synopsis of the book, can I read it for the audience? Okay, so let me read this little synopsis for you all, okay, because I want to get this, okay? So let me read it. IE is a well-known big-time drug dealer who's pretty much enjoyed living his bachelor life for years. His handsome good looks and beautiful smile only makes it harder for most women to resist his charms. You ladies know that, okay? Tina is a breathtakingly beautiful gold digger who's used her beauty and her sexuality to her advantage. Women know about that. When the two meet outside of Joe's Club on First Friday, everything in both their worlds begin to change in a blink of an eye. This novel tells a tale of just what true love, money, envy, and betrayal can do if you don't play your hand correctly. Following their hearts, the two is that can't help but fall dangerously in love. So that's it, people. That gives you the two characters, IE and Tina, and their world is all about money, envy, and love. Of course, it's always in any of those things.
Right. Oh, wait, a lot of that comes along with
the territory.
Right.
Excuse me one second. Let me get out of the picture one second. Okay. Go ahead, Miss Smalls.
So that comes along, with that life, with what's you're living that life, that's pretty much what comes along with it.
Right. So let me ask you, what do you hope that readers can learn from reading this book?
What readers can learn from reading this book?
Or what should they come away read other than have a book that they really enjoy? Okay, because 36 or 37 chapters, I know it's very in depth.
I mean, it's not really come away with as in like learning because it is very. I have ebonics in there. I have our hood slangs, those kind of things. So as far as like to come away with,
it's a love story, right?
Yeah, but what you will get in knowing the story and reading it and getting into it, I kind of feel like even though surrounding all that they have going on in that life and everything, that the love part of it, you'll see that it's genuine. It's it's not a love that you find every day. Okay. And it's not something that happens every single day. Sometimes in, like, I would say for me and myself, because of my marriage and my relationship, I feel like people are destined to be together. Okay. So it's more so that in that you feel these energies, and sometimes you go these energies of people, and you feel that you met them today, yesterday, next week. For some reason, that energy is so strong that it brings you in, and you don't know why,
Right.
but you and that's in my
Right.
story.
Is
That's
what
the,
that's
right,
about. That's the love story.
right,
Being pulled in when you
right,
wasn't even planning
planning,
on being
right,
in that lifestyle, but you're drawn to that person. So
right,
you find yourself in
right,
the middle of having
having,
to deal
right,
with that because you fall in
in
love
love
with
with that,
them. And we
right,
know that's a lot of women's story. Find themselves in love with a man that they couldn't imagine they would have to live this
right.
type of life, but they're drawn to that person, so they
Can't
cannot.
right,
Okay,
and that's what
right,
that
and it's not, we're not judging that because that happens every single day. Fall in love with people they couldn't imagine they were going to
but
be in love
right,
with.
or you see it all the time where they say like, oh, opposites and
Right.
things like that, and that's in that story, in my story,
Mhm.
I did have showed that. It's crazy because I wrote the story 18 years ago,
Mhm.
but I feel connected to it because of my own marriage and my own way that we got and came together. So it was like, wow, this
Mhm.
this does exist, and clearly
Mhm.
it does exist.
Right, love, because a lot of people really don't experience what genuine love feels like, and
No.
a lot of times you do end up with a person that you cannot imagine you would even been attracted to.
Right.
That's what that love, that word is all about. Because whoever is created for you,
Right.
regardless of who they are, their
Right.
lifestyle, their background. That's the way it usually works. And what I
Right.
do notice is when people do not um, are not able to be with a person that they really
It
love,
tears them apart.
right? It tears them
They
up
can't get their life
together.
together in order.
Yes.
And we wandering around wondering, well, what's wrong with them? Well, why
Right.
they this? Well, why they that? Well,
Right.
no, she's with this person or he's
Right.
with that person. But in the same breath, they never get their life
Life
together
together.
because realistically,
Is there any family interaction in your book, Dangerously in Love?
as
Does the family play any role in either one of their lives, like the sisters or brothers or cousins or anything?
um towards more so towards
Towards
the
the end.
end,
Uh-huh.
towards the end, but then in when you sometimes you meet a person and right off the
Mhm.
back you're like, I don't know, but
Mhm.
then when you get to know the person and you see,
Mhm.
oh well, yeah, they're
Uh-huh.
making the right choice, or
Choice,
they're right,
right?
this is
Okay.
who is for
Yeah.
them, yeah,
Because the family a lot of time may not agree with,
yeah.
decisions. So let me ask you, is there going to be a second part to this book?
So
She's
initially
laughing, y'all.
I wanted to break this book up into three series, but being that the story was so, it was really hard to break it down into parts without leaving my readers saying, well, I got to get another part.
Right.
I just wanted to give them the opportunity with this first book just to keep going.
Mhm.
Now, being that I wrote this book 18 years ago,
Mhm.
I do have part two already written.
Okay. All right, y'all. Part two is already written.
So
Okay.
part two is already written, and I also have a third book already.
Wow.
So I have those already lined up,
I
ready to
would
go.
say when will you be publishing part two, but I know you're just getting
Started.
one out and you're giving people time to buy. It's really going. I want to tell you that I Googled you and your book before I came for the interview and it popped right up on the screen ahead of any other Dangerously in Love. Also, I don't know if you know, but it's not only on Amazon, it's on Goodreads.
Oh
Yes,
no, I didn't know that.
yes, your book is also on Goodreads, so it's selling very well on Amazon because usually I think Amazon sends it over to their Goodreads or whatever. So your book is also on Goodreads. I wanted you to know that also.
So yeah, no, I didn't know that. I just
Yes.
thought, I did see it's like kind of gaining, the momentum, but I didn't know it was on Goodreads.
So, as an author, what do you think as an author? I know you wrote your books, you say 18 years ago. As an author, what do you find is the most you have to put these books together?
The most challenging is because I would say for me, because you know, vocalization and grammar and vocabulary.
Okay.
Because I speak well.
Right.
But and then when I'm in this mode.